You want me to check that?
What do you want? Just an expense?
Just give it back.
Oh, well, the defendants are out there, so I have some, you get what you want.
Counsel? We're about to go on the record, counsel. You need to talk out in the hallway.
This is case number 16-00992, defendant number 1, People versus Lorenzo Brooks, and defendant number 2, Leticia Molton. Before the court for sentencing, all parties are present. Appearances, please.
Your Honor, good morning. Michael Wood here to appear on behalf of the people. Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Holler?
John J. Holler on behalf of Mr. Lorenzo Brooks, who's standing to my immediate left.
And good morning, Your Honor. Coral Watt, appearing on behalf of Leticia Brooks. I'm sorry, Molton, who's standing to my right, Your Honor.
And good morning to all of you. Today is the date and time set for sentencing in this matter. This is part of a plea agreement where, a plea and sentence agreement, where the defendants pled guilty to homicide and involuntary manslaughter with a sentence agreement of 2 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. Has everyone reviewed the pre-sentence investigation report?
What I have.
Your Honor, as it relates to Ms. Molton, I've had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence report as well as Ms. Molton. It is factually accurate. We have no additions or corrections, Your Honor. I've also reviewed the guidelines and they're correctly scored.
And with regard to Mr. Brooks?
Your Honor, with respect to Mr. Brooks, I think that he has reviewed the pre-sentence report for the most extent. I was in another courtroom, and I regret that I have not had a chance to review it myself. I know that.
Brooks, have you reviewed the factual information in there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and is there anything factually inaccurate about the report? About your
It's a few
background and
things.
history?
Few things.
Is there something you'd like to point out to me, sir?
Not really.
Well, if there's something factually inaccurate, you can point it out to me. What page are we looking at?
It really. I say everything's all right.
Everything's all right?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I would report to the court that I went over what a pre-sentence report was in some detail with my client last night, and that he should read it to see if anything that is of material or important was inaccurate. Things that simply are not important or immaterial would not really be, we wouldn't really dwell on.
Yeah.
But important things were Mr. Brooks, does it look like everything that is important is accurate?
Yeah, I think about just one thing about my daddy. You know, they said I ain't been with my daddy since I was 16. I've been with my daddy my whole life.
Okay. Well,
That's
Okay. Well, what page is that on?
I'm trying to think. Kind of hard.
here, let me help you out. Okay. Let me try to find that. Okay.
Nope. Nope, that's not it. Keep going. Nope. Not there.
Okay, it says on page 5 of the evaluation plan, the defendant states he did not meet his biological father until he was 16 years of age.
Yeah.
Is
That's
that
what I'm talking
inaccurate?
about, yes. That's in that. I've been knowing my father my whole life. He been my life my whole life. So.
Okay, so I'll strike that sentence. Anything else that's inaccurate? Or was that primarily it?
That's primarily it.
Okay.
And then, yeah, one more thing about the car wash, my job.
Yes?
I do have check stubs for that. I don't know what I'm saying, but I don't have it on me.
Okay, so you were being paid
Yeah.
with checks rather than in cash.
Yeah, I was getting cash too from the tips. I was
Cash from the
getting-
tips, but you did get check stubs for your
Yes,
pay from them.
yes.
I'm looking to see where that's at.
Okay, that would be on the very bottom of page 5. The agent put down that the defendant has no verifiable employment. Well, somebody works under the table. They can work, but you can't verify it. And that's essentially what my client's been doing, cleaning and washing cars.
Right.
I was getting paid for it though. I was getting checks though.
You were getting checks with
Checks.
check stub?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll just strike that first sentence that says no verifiable employment,
All right, thank you.
and says, and defendant states he's been employed with the airport car wash for the past 7 years. And we'll just strike the cash basis. If you say you have check stubs, and you earn approximately $75 a day,
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So we'll correct that. Any other corrections, sir?
That's be it. That'd be it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
With regard to guidelines, have you reviewed the guidelines, Mr. Howell,
I have reviewed the guidelines and they appear accurate to me.
at 36 to 71 months?
Yes.
Okay. And is there anything further on behalf of the people?
Judge, I will indicate that I've reviewed the guidelines also for Ms. Molton and Mr. Brooks, and I agree that the pre-sentence investigative report writer has calculated them correctly.
Anything further you'd like to state on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan?
Judge, I would indicate that this case illustrates how important the public health effort over the past several years has been to educate people on the importance of safe sleep, is what it's called, safe sleep. You put a baby back to sleep on their back with nothing in the crib, and the idea is that the baby wakes up in the morning that way. And this case illustrates how important that is. It's a tragic case, and our hope is that this serves as a reminder to people that perhaps there's something to that education effort.
Anything further on behalf of Mr. Brooks?
I would echo what the prosecutor just said. I think those are very thoughtful and appropriate comments. My client can speak for himself, but I can't tell you how remorseful he is that he was neglectful and irresponsible on one night, and he's been thinking every moment about a child that he had with Miss Molton that will never grow up. And but in that regard, I think he can speak for himself to the extent he wishes to.
Mr. Brooks, is there anything you'd like to state on your own behalf?
Yes, I just want to say sorry to my son, first and foremost, that, he didn't get a chance to grow up and be a kid and enjoy life. So, and then I just wish it never happened, but things happen. And that'd be all, Your Honor.
Is there anything further on behalf of Ms. Molton?
Just that, Your Honor, Ms. Molton also understands the important lesson that's been learned in this case, Your Honor. Ms. Molton did raise three children, two to adulthood, one who's almost an adult, and she has indicated to me on numerous occasions that if she could go back in time, she would do things differently, and that she's very remorseful, and that even though she's going to prison for this offense, she said to me on numerous occasions that what she is going through and continues to go through due to the loss of two children, that is more hurtful and more painful than any prison sentence, Your Honor. She wants the court to know that this is a lesson, a tragic lesson that she's learned, and that she's hoping and praying that when she gets out, she's going to go to counseling to deal with some of her underlying issues that she developed from the loss of the first child, in the hopes that she can continue to be a parent to her one remaining child who's still a minor.
Is there anything you'd like to state, Ms. Molton, before I close sentence?
Yes, I just want to apologize to my family and his family for taking him through this. And I want to thank you and my attorney for your time on this case.
There's no one from the family here.
Is there anyone who wishes to speak on behalf of Lorenzo Jr.?
Yes.
Step right around us to the podium, Judge.
Yes. And I'm going to ask you two to step just this way a little bit, and you two step
My name is Yolanda X.
Where's that, this way?
That's fine.
My name is Yolanda Exum, and Lorenzo
Could you
Brooks,
spell your name, please?
Yolanda. Exum is my last name,
Okay.
and Lorenzo Brooks is my brother, and he loved that baby. I was just with that baby, feeding that baby. He had that baby every day. He come over my house with the baby and spend the night with me and everything. He's a good dad.
Did you wish to make any comments with regard to your nephew who passed?
Any comments to him? He was very healthy. He was very healthy. He was fed every day. He was taken care of, very clean, everything. It was no neglect to him.
Anything further? On behalf of the people?
Thank you.
Judge, I think those comments just highlight the tragedy of this case. I would ask the court to follow the sentence agreement.
This case just really does highlight the importance of education and knowing the proper ways to take care of your child and safe sleeping arrangements. And a pallet being placed and a child being placed between two adults on a bed is certainly not an appropriate sleeping arrangement for a child, and that's what led to this tragic tragic occurrence and the death of little Lorenzo Brooks Jr. And it's an awful way to learn this lesson. And this is the second child that's died in this manner. It's a horrible case, but I'm going to follow the sentence agreement with the people, because otherwise we'll go to a trial. So, it is sentenced to this court, you be sentenced, both of you, sentenced to a period of incarceration of 2 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. You both will receive 145 days credit for time served. You both must pay $68 state costs, $60 DNA fee, crime victim assessment fee of $130, court costs of $1,300, and attorney fees of $400. And both of you have the right to request leave to appeal from the Court of Appeals to appeal your plea and sentence. If you're unable to afford an attorney to prepare post-conviction motions or prevent an appeal, suspense and will provide the attorneys with the transcript needed to prepare your motions or an appeal. You're further advised that if you wish to file an appeal or a motion, a request for the appointment of an attorney must be made in writing, filed with the clerk of this court within 42 days of today's date. You received a form advising you of these appellate rights, and I ask that you sign the receipt for those forms. Is that, are they both executed?
Yes, Your Honor, on behalf of Ms. Molton.
My client's executing his receipt of rights right now, Your Honor.
And the copies of those forms that are being handed to you are your copies to keep, and those are the ones you assign a date and send to the clerk of the court within 42 days of today's date. If you wish to second appeal, you get something.
That's your copy of what you just
We
signed.
move to dismiss on both files, count two, for each defendant, and that's what relates to Ms. Molton.
Any objection?
No objection, Your
No
Honor.
objection.
Motion granted. At this time, the defendants are both remanded to custody and Michigan Department of Corrections and bond expenses.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.